Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Heretic, Shadow of the Serpent Riders on a Black Plague difficulty for the PC. We're also doing all levels with a 1 start, and this is episode 4, mission 6, Halls of the Apostate. Now, what is an apostate? It is a person who renounces a religious or political belief or principle. Interestingly enough, one of the synonyms for apostate is heretic. Anyways, let's begin. Alright, so you start off in this area here, which has pretty much nothing in it. And this level is interesting because it has all these enemies here. And this is one of the few levels which made me wonder if it was even balanced for a 1 start, because there are a lot of enemies here and not a lot of ammo. Now, I know Catafalque was balanced for a 1 start because it's the first level of the episode, but this one, I'm not so sure about. At the very least, it does have these geodes. 2 of them, in fact, but the problem is, you'll see in a bit here. But right now, I'm just going to lower these elevators here by pressing this switch to the left, which will bring down some saber claws, which I will deal with the staff, because I don't want to deal with them with the gauntlets, and I want to save some ammo here. Yeah, you'll see what I mean. You're probably like, oh, it's a boss, isn't it? Yeah, it's a boss enemy. It's not a Molitor, though. It's an Iron Lich. We'll see this Iron Lich soon enough. I'm spoiling the surprise here, but yeah, that's who we're waiting for. That's who we're going to deal with later on, or rather, after we're done with these saber claws. So, deal with them with the staff, just to save ammo, because they don't give you an ethereal crossbow until you get into the room with the Iron Lich. You probably saw him earlier. What you can do, though, is play the hit scan Harry game. So at least you can do that to save some like stress. Just make sure to move slightly whenever the Lich moves slightly, so it doesn't get the drop on you. This is some very tedious work, but it's probably the easiest way to deal with them. So just keep doing the hit scan Harry deal, and you'll get out fine. As long as that tornado doesn't get you. You can probably pick up this crystal geode now. Gives you a lot of crystal or Elven 1 ammo. And now, finally, that most tedious part of the level is done with. This area will lower with a bag of holding, but when you get the bag of holding, these saber claws will lower too. So you can deal with them. They're on both sides, and you can just pepper them down with the Elven Wand. Now, you can press this or just step near it to lower it. It has a silver shield on it, and what you probably want to do is get the some of these saber claws to lower down with you, so you can deal with them in a more open area, because dealing with them on the stairway is kind of annoying. You can probably lower them down here too if you want, which is what I'm doing right now. Pepper them to death with the Elven Wand, and if I feel like I'm low on ammo, I'll just staff them, because I still don't want to gauntlet them because they attack through that. And they have a low stun rate. Which makes using the gauntlets on them rather inefficient. Yeah, you can see the ethereal crossbow up there. I'm just going to run past this guy and get it. And finally deal with the rest of these saber claws with this thing. There we go. That's all of them. Now, this area, you can just drop down in. Watch out for the Disciple of the Sparrow over there. There's a quiver of ethereal arrows here, which you can get right now since we have the bag of holding. There's an Iron Lich there too, because this level wants to really shove it in your face. Like, man, we are so hardcore. But pressing this button here will raise this area here, this walkway. Pressing this area will lower something. I forget what. But I believe it has something to do with those portals there. But as you can see, some of these like lava projectiles are opening or coming up here too, so watch out for them. So what you want to do is try to make a mad dash towards the other side of this bridge area. And you can probably hear some saber claws here too, because they're here. And when you get the yellow key, they'll reveal themselves to this portal. So what you can do is go back here and deal with them in this area, or if you want, you can probably deal with them in the dark area. Either way, you can pick up these crystal vials if you lose any health from them, which is what I did. Now you might see these portals. Going through them will just take you to where you started off in. And yeah, I believe pressing the button on the left here is the one thing that lowered them. Now going through that portal at the edge there will take you back up here, which is perfect because that's where the yellow door is. And also this iron lich is here too, so since we don't have a dragon claw or anything, we can't play the classic hit scan Harry game, so what we'll have to do is just play the peekaboo game instead. So try not to get hit like me, especially by any fires, and I got hit twice. But as long as you don't get hit by the fires, that's fine. There are fire gargoyles to your left, but there's ammo for the dragon claw, which we'll get later on in this level. Always a nice thing to have. There's a green key there, but we'll have to lower it first. And in order to lower it, we'll have to go down here. We'll hear a Disciple of the Sparrow here, but that's not our problem right now, because he's through an invisible wall. Pressing this will lower the green key, which is what you want to do. There's a dragon claw here, but it's guarded by these Disciples of the Sparrow, so deal with them by playing the peekaboo game. My mouse is deciding to screw up, so I'm firing a bit more than usual. But I have the dragon claw now. Now pressing this switch will lower this area here, which takes you back to the second starting area. Now one thing you can do is where these saber claws were, you can press this trident area to go to where this Disciple of the Sparrow is, with the invisible or the one-way wall here, because he'll otherwise try to hit you through it. And you can do the same for this area, because it has a saber claw and another Disciple of the Sparrow. This one is guarding a mystic urn, so if you want to make sure your health is squeaky clean, this is the place to do it. Now, stepping on this area, or rather pressing this button, lowers this lift, which is what you'll need to press if you want to go up here to the green door. Now opening the green door has several fire gargoyles and regular gargoyles behind it, and this hallway here. Now you can go in here first. Doesn't matter which door you go through. Both lead to the same area. It has several fire gargoyles, regular gargoyles, which you'll have to deal with, but it also has some goodies in it. So deal with all the gargoyles and press this button here to open up an area with more Disciples of the Sparrow and the Hellstaff right there, which is what this Disciple is guarding. When you get the Hellstaff, more arrows will lower with more Disciples, so watch out for them. You can use your newly acquired Hellstaff on them if you want. You can use the pillars of color, or cover, even. You can also play the Hit Scan Harry game with them, because these pillars make great cover, and you can peek around them. And if you get hit, there are probably some crystal vials here, assuming you don't get hit too much. And if you do, you can use the quartz flask and a crystal vial, or the mystic urn even. Now, going through this area, there are more gargoyles of both types, of course, because why not? Lots of gargoyles here, but it's okay. We have the health staff and we can deal with them. Just spam it like crazy. There are runes here which you can pick up, which will help with your ammo problem if you have it. And behind here is an Inferno Orb for a Phoenix Rod, which we can probably get later on in the level. But we need to grab the blue key, but of course when we do, these disciples will reveal themselves. So get out of there ASAP. And try to corral them to this door here, where you can deal with those projectiles a bit easier, at least in my experience. Okay, you might get hit sometimes, but them's the breaks. So don't be afraid to use those quartz flasks and the Mystic Urn. Just watch out for those projectiles. This is definitely safer than dealing with them in the room, I'll assure you. At least, I think it is. Now, if you ran out of claw orbs, the disciples will probably drop some. And there are some more ammo here. And there's a bag of holding here if you didn't get the one where the Iron Lich area was. But you probably got that. But either way, it's good to have more ammo. So now we have the blue key, we can finally go to the blue door. But first we want to, go through the door there. Because it's another time lift. However, when you go through the blue door, you can probably hear them. There are more disciples in the Sparrow. Now, going through these blue doors, both have different areas, so you can go to this area on the right to deal with the disciples of the Sparrow. You can do a combination of hit scan Harry and the peekaboo game. Two of my essential strats at this moment. Just watch out for those purple projectiles. I'm going to use the crossbow on this last one here. And grab the crystal vial. There's a rare chance they drop the Tome of Power, which is good. I will never complain about getting that. Now you can press both of these buttons to lower some areas, or raise some lifts, I believe. Or both. You might notice the saber claws down there are being very noisy, but it's okay. We can deal with them from this area. But we want to deal with the gargoyles first. Now we can deal with the saber claws. So they're kind of harmless when you're shooting them from here. You probably don't want to go down there to deal with them. Unless you're feeling ballsy. You can do that when you've dealt with enough of them. There are Wings of Wrath here, which we can get right now, in fact. Deal with the rest of these saber claws here. Might notice a quartz flask up there, which we can't get yet until we go here. Now when we go here, this area opens up with the Iron Lich. Oh man, it just hit me good. So what I'm going to do right now is use the Wings of Wrath and the Shadow Spear to deal with this Iron Lich. And make it my Iron Bench, because why not? Just watch out for those flame projectiles if you're using the Shadow Spear. All the other ones are irrelevant. It has a Phoenix Rod, but we killed all the enemies. So the Phoenix Rod is kind of redundant at this point. Well, at least you get another Tome of Power down here, which is also redundant. But I believe we are done with this level, so let's get a look at this projectile hell, this lava projectile hell, before we go. Yeah, there's nothing here too, but you can go here if you just want to just like stand here and go like, oh, I'm flying in areas where I shouldn't be. Stalling. But we're done with Halsey Apostate. Yeah, the area with the Iron Lich and the Phoenix Rod was the only secret of the level. So, there are the two areas with the like trident symbols, which are non-official secrets, which you can get. And I recommend you do that, because it has a Mystic Urn in one of them. very interesting level. The start made me wonder if it wasn't balanced for a 1 start, but it is. You can do it for 1 start, but dealing with that Iron Lich as a start and the Saber Claws can be very tedious because you'll probably run out of ammo if you decide to deal with the Saber Claws with the Elven Wand entirely instead of using the staff. And as usual, I wouldn't recommend using the Gauntlets against them because they can attack through it because they have a very low stun rate. Anyways, now that we're done with the Halls of the Apostate, we can go to the Ramparts of Perdition, which we will do in the next video. So until then, toodaloo.